What if I told you that your cat doesn't see you the way you think it does? Many owners imagine that their cat looks at them with admiration, respect, or even a sense of loyalty, almost like a dog might. But the truth is very different, and it is not always what you hope for. Cats live in a world shaped by instincts, survival strategies, and behaviors that go back thousands of years. Their perception of you is filtered through this unique feline lens. And when you discover how they truly see you, it can be surprising, even unsettling. Today, we are going to uncover the real way cats see their humans. This is not about guesswork or wishful thinking. It is based on science, observation, and the small details hidden in their everyday behavior. And the more you learn, the more you realize that your cat's opinion of you is far more complex than you ever imagined. Some parts will warm your heart, others may sting a little, but all of them will bring you closer to understanding the incredible animal that shares your home. And I will warn you now, stay with me until the very end, because the last revelation is one that almost no cat owner knows, and it could change the way you look at your cat forever. If you share your life with a cat, you have probably asked yourself at least once, what am I to this creature? Am I a parent, a friend, a roommate, or just the one who fills the food bowl twice a day? Cats do not answer in words, but in their actions. The way they rub against your legs, the way they watch you from across the room, the way they curl up on your lap or ignore you completely, these are all clues. And they tell a story more fascinating than most people realize. And if you are fascinated by the hidden truths of cat behavior, then this is the place for you. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you do not miss what is coming next. Because once we unlock this mystery, you will never see your cat the same way again. Most cat owners assume their pets see them as the same kind of master a dog does. It is an easy assumption to make because dogs clearly recognize hierarchy. A dog looks at its owner as the leader of the pack, the one who provides rules and structure. When a dog follows a command, it is not only obedience, it is also an acknowledgement of authority. So, many people imagine their cats think the same way. But this is where things take an unexpected turn. Cats do not live by hierarchy in the same way dogs do. In the wild, cats are solitary hunters. They do not form packs with leaders and followers. Even in groups, such as colonies of feral cats, the relationships are far more fluid. They share space, resources, and sometimes protection, but without strict roles of dominance and submission. For this reason, when your cat looks at you, it does not see a master or an alpha figure. It does not place you above itself in a ranking system because such a system does not exist in its world. This explains so much of what frustrates new cat owners. You call your cat, and sometimes it comes, but sometimes it ignores you entirely. You say no firmly, and instead of obeying, it might look at you calmly, blink, and then do the same thing again when you are not watching. To many owners, this looks like rebellion or arrogance. In reality, it is neither. Your cat simply does not associate you with authority because in its mind, no one has authority in that sense. Think about the moments when you trip over your cat because it lies right in the middle of the hallway. A dog would usually move quickly out of the way, recognizing your movement as a sign to yield. A cat, on the other hand, often refuses to budge. This is not stubbornness. It is simply because your movement does not communicate dominance to them. In their world, the space is shared, and you are expected to navigate around them just as much as they navigate around you. So, if your cat does not see you as a leader, then what are you in its eyes? The answer is more complex and much more revealing. Because even though authority is absent from the relationship, your cat still sees you as something vitally important. And that leads us to the next layer of truth, how cats recognize the role of the provider. When you strip everything down to the basics, your cat sees you first as the provider. You are the one who controls the resources that define its survival: food, fresh water, shelter, and safety. In the wild, a cat spends a huge portion of its day hunting. It must stalk silently, pounce at the right moment, and catch prey in order to eat. Every meal is uncertain and requires skill, patience, and luck. In your home, that entire process has been replaced by you. To your cat, Meals appear almost like magic, and you are the one who makes them happen. This is why so many cats develop routines around feeding time. Maybe your cat waits near the kitchen just before you usually serve food, or it meows loudly as soon as it hears the sound of a can opening or kibble pouring into a bowl. These behaviors are not random. They are recognition that you are the source of sustenance. Even the way cats rub against your legs when you prepare their food can be seen as a ritual acknowledgement of your role. In their world, scent is communication, and by marking you at that moment, they are reinforcing the bond with the provider of vital resources. But it would be a mistake to think this is the full picture. If cats only cared about food, their interactions with humans would be much more limited. They would approach when hungry and disappear when satisfied. And yet, countless cat owners notice that their pets linger long after meals. They curl up in the same room, they watch you work, they rest on your clothes, and they even follow you to places that have nothing to do with feeding, like the bathroom or the bedroom. Here is where things get truly fascinating. Cats do not really see humans as a different species. To them, you are simply another cat, only much larger, slower, and, in their eyes, a little strange. This perspective explains countless behaviors that many owners misinterpret. When your cat rubs its face against your legs, it is not just asking for attention. It is marking you with its scent, the same way it would mark another cat in its colony. When it kneads your lap with its paws, that is not only comfort, it is a direct carryover from kittenhood, when pressing against their mother's belly meant milk and safety. And when your cat proudly drops a toy mouse, a sock, or even the body of a dead insect at your feet, it is not being cruel or trying to shock you. In the feline mind, this is a social gesture, a way of sharing something important with a companion. Think about how cats greet each other in the wild or in multi-cat homes. They rub their bodies together, intertwining scents to confirm familiarity. They sit close, sometimes even touching tails, to signal trust. Now compare that to how your cat greets you at the door after you return from work. It may rub against your legs or meow in a tone it reserves only for you. This is not random affection, it is the same ritual they would perform with a fellow feline they consider part of their group. Even the famous slow blink is a sign of social trust. When your cat looks at you and closes its eyes slowly, it is offering the feline equivalent of a smile. Among cats, closing the eyes in front of another individual is an act of vulnerability, a silent way of saying, "I feel safe with you." When your cat gives you this look, it is treating you exactly the way it would treat another trusted cat. What makes this even more remarkable is that cats do not extend these gestures to just anyone. They are selective. While a dog might greet every human it meets with enthusiasm, cats reserve their true social behaviors for those they accept into their circle. If your cat rubs against you, blinks at you, or curls up beside you, it is a privilege. It means you are not just the person who fills the bowl, you are part of the tribe. But there is still another layer, even deeper than social connection, because beyond treating you as another cat, many felines go further. In moments of vulnerability, they may see you as something even more intimate, almost like a parent figure. For many cats, the bond with their human moves beyond companionship and even beyond social recognition. In certain situations, they relate to us in a way that resembles the bond between a kitten and its mother. This may sound surprising, but when you observe the behaviors closely, the resemblance is undeniable. When your cat curls up in your lap and begins to purr, that is not only a sign of contentment. It mirrors the instinctive comfort kittens feel when pressed against their mother's body. Purring during these moments is a signal of security, a way of saying, "I am safe here." Similarly, when a cat follows you from room to room, almost like a shadow, it reflects the way a kitten follows its mother for reassurance and guidance. It is not just habit, it is trust, expressed in the purest form. Even the act of meowing can carry this connection. In the wild, adult cats rarely meow at each other. Meowing is primarily a kitten-to-mother behavior used to request attention or food. Yet, domestic cats continue to meow into adulthood, and they direct this vocalization almost exclusively at humans. In other words, your cat has adapted a juvenile behavior and reserved it just for you, as if you are the caregiver it never fully outgrew. This role as a parent figure becomes especially clear during moments of stress. A cat may seek you out when startled by a loud noise or when strangers enter the home. Some even hide behind their owners, peeking out cautiously before deciding whether it is safe to emerge. Just as a kitten would rely on its mother to signal safety, an adult cat relies on you. But there is also a fragile side to this bond. When this need for connection is ignored, cats can become restless, vocal, or even develop behavioral issues. Some may start excessive grooming, pacing, or destructive behavior, all of which can be signs of emotional stress. For them, the absence of the trusted figure the parent substitute creates insecurity. Understanding this reveals why cats, despite their reputation for independence, often show such deep attachment to their humans. Independence does not mean detachment, it means they can survive alone. But when they choose to bond, the connection carries enormous weight. And yet, as moving as this truth is, there is one final layer that many owners never expect. Because while your cat may treat you as a parent at times, it does not place you on a pedestal. In fact, the way your cat truly sees you is far more humbling, and it might surprise you. Here is the part that most cat owners are not prepared for. Your cat does not see you as perfect. It does not admire you in the way a dog admires its owner, nor does it treat you as an authority figure who knows best. To your cat, you are not flawless, you are big, unpredictable, and sometimes clumsy compared to the precision of its own instincts. Think about it. A cat can leap gracefully onto a narrow ledge without hesitation, land silently after a jump, or detect the slightest movement of an insect across the room. And then it watches you trip over furniture, drop things, or struggle to open a bag of food. From its perspective, you are a giant creature with limited coordination, far less equipped to handle the world with the same elegance. In short, to many cats, we are like oversized, slightly awkward cats ourselves. This is why cats often look at us with that unmistakable expression, ears relaxed, eyes half closed, a slow blink followed by what almost feels like a smirk. It is not judgment in the human sense, but it is recognition that we are different, slower, less refined. They know we cannot smell what they smell, hear what they hear, or react with their speed. And yet, despite this, they still choose to share their lives with us. That is the surprising truth. Your cat does not love you out of admiration, obedience, or blind loyalty. It loves you through acceptance. It sees your flaws, your clumsy movements, your strange habits, and it stays anyway. In fact, it treats you as an equal, as one of its own kind, despite the differences. That acceptance is far more powerful than the illusion of authority, because it means the bond you share is a choice, not an obligation. And here lies the beauty. Your cat's affection is not automatic. It is not programmed to follow you, obey you, or worship you. Instead, it decides to trust you, to curl up beside you, to blink slowly at you, and to accept you into its world. That choice is the ultimate form of feline love, one that many owners overlook because they expect something closer to a dog's devotion. So while the truth may not be what you hope, that your cat sees you as a master or hero, it is something even better. Your cat sees you as family, as part of its circle, as a giant and sometimes clumsy companion it has chosen to live with. And in the world of cats, that is the highest form of connection you can ever hope to achieve. Now, I want to hear from you. Has your cat ever treated you like another cat by rubbing against you, kneading your lap, or proudly dropping a strange gift at your feet? Maybe it curls up on your clothes, follows you into the bathroom, or meows at you in ways it never does with anyone else. These are all tiny windows into how your cat truly sees you. Share your experiences in the comments, because every cat has its own unique way of revealing the bond, and your story could help another owner understand their pet on a deeper level. So the truth is clear. Your cat does not see you as a master or an alpha. Instead, it accepts you as part of its world, sometimes as a provider, sometimes as a parent, and sometimes simply as another cat. This bond may not be built on admiration, but on something deeper: trust, choice, and acceptance. And once you understand that, every slow blink, every nap beside you, every little gesture suddenly carries a new meaning. But this is only the beginning. Because while cats see us all in fascinating ways, there is one truth that changes dramatically depending on who you are. Did you know that some cats actually treat their humans differently based on age? In fact, owners over 50 often get a kind of treatment that younger owners never experience. It is subtle, it is unique, and it reveals just how deeply cats can adapt their bond to the person they live with. If you are curious to know what that difference is and why it happens, click on the video that has just appeared on your screen. There, you will discover a side of your cat's perception that very few people even realize exists. I'll meet you in the next video.